Hello from Geneva, Switzerland. Just arrived, got checked into my hotel, and I've been doing some administrative homework like booking a couple more trains. I'm trying to stay 3 trains ahead. I didn't want to book all the trains ahead of time, but with how busy it is in tourist season here, I want to at least have the next few trains booked so that I can make plans and adjust hotels if there aren't trains available or those kind of things. So took care of my train ride from Zurich to Milan and then from Milan to Rome. Also booked a couple dinner reservations to a couple restaurants that my friend Jennifer recommended. Having lived in Switzerland for a while, she knows of some places both here in Geneva and in Zurich and in Milan. So I've got dinner reserved for Geneva tomorrow night. And then the first night I get to Zurich on Thursday, I have dinner reservation for there. So far today has been so much better than the last couple of days. I did have an stupid Uber experience trying to get from my hotel to the train station this morning. The driver canceled it, but I didn't get a notification. So I stood there for 15 minutes waiting and then finally tried to update whatever, and it just said, your driver has canceled, but I didn't get notified until I went looking for it. So luckily, I was planning to get to the train station an hour early just because I want to make sure I'm covered in these kinds of situations. So that was good. I had plenty of time. So I went back inside and asked the hotel person if they could call me a taxi. And he said, I actually just did call a taxi for this other man who's just sitting over here on the patio. Do you want to see if you guys can share one? And long story short, he was a very nice man. He was from Paris and was on a weekend trip with some friends to do that trail run thing that I think I mentioned a couple videos ago that was going on in Annecy. So super nice, spoke excellent English, just was very, very kind. And anyways, we shared a taxi to the train station. And then when I got there waiting for the bus, so then the bus was really late, about 25 minutes late. But again, I have nowhere to be and no timelines really, so it was not a big deal at all. And the good news, a lot of the stuff that I've been upset about the last couple of days is just lacking any sort of human interaction. And I think prior to that, I wasn't feeling that way because I was doing these tours and things. And so I was getting a split of my time. Part of it, I was on my own, wandering the cities, really enjoying that. And then had the tours going on where I had that human interaction. And a lot of times with other people who spoke English because the tours are done in English. And so I'm not feeling quite so isolated. But in Annecy, I didn't have any tours booked. And so it was like 3 days straight of literally no human contact. And I just felt lonely and sad. So I get to the train station today. And even though the bus was late, I'm sitting there and everyone around me was speaking English. There were 3 different groups of people and they were all speaking English. And I didn't stop and like start interacting with them or anything like that, but there was just a level of comfort. So thank you, God, for that. Nice man for the taxi, surrounded by English speakers at the train station, just really just kind of reassured me and made me feel a little bit better. Then I took the bus once it finally arrived. It was only a 40-minute bus ride. There was a train option, but it was like 3 times more expensive and it only saved like 10 minutes. So I was like, I'm just gonna take the bus, no big deal. So took the bus. It was beautiful, kind of nice to go a little slow and get to see some of the scenery. It was weird. They didn't check your passport or anything as you crossed the border from France into Switzerland. They checked it when I checked into the hotel, but I didn't like have a border crossing situation or anything. Kind of bummed because I like those passport stamps. They make me smile. That's just me being a dork. So yeah, I get off the bus. My bus took me to the Geneva airport because it's like a central location for the buses. So then I had to figure out another bus or tram or whatever to get from the airport to my hotel. But again, God helping me out in just making sure I'm in the right place and relieving a little bit of my stress. I got off the bus in one spot and then walked like 50 feet. And then the spot for the bus to go, I found a little ticket booth, bought a ticket, and then the bus that I was taking pulled right up to the curb, right next to the ticket booth, a minute after I bought the ticket. So just kind of everything lined up and was really comforting. Then I get on the bus and the people sitting behind me are speaking in English. So it was just overall getting a lot of reassurance over this part of the day. So I'm feeling a little bit better. I've got a boat tour and Geneva tour that includes going back to Annecy, unfortunately, but at least I'll be with a tour this time. So I wasn't able to book anything for Annecy. So then I figured, oh, okay, well, I want to know the history and see cool things. So maybe I'll just book something in Geneva. So long story short, that's what I did. So I will be going back for part of the day tomorrow to Annecy to do a tour. And then it finishes in Geneva with a dinner and then a boat ride. Oh, not dinner, lunch and a boat ride. Sorry, dinner is at the Italian restaurant that I booked based on Jennifer's recommendation. And then on Wednesday, I have a chocolate flavors tour. So that should be fun. Lots of free time too. So once I get acclimated to the area, I will have tons of free time on Wednesday and Thursday morning before I head out to Zurich. So long story short, feeling a little bit better. My hotel here is very nice. All the hotel rooms here are just very small. I guess I'm used to big American hotels, but I mean, it's not too small that I am not sufficiently comfortable. The bathrooms are weird. They have no counter space. I don't know what women here do with all their toiletries because it's just a sink and no counter area, which is weird. But here we are. I am starving, so I am going to go try to figure out something for food for tonight. Unless something really exciting happens that I need to brief you on, I think this will be my video for the day, and it won't really include a whole lot of pictures because I haven't done anything here yet. But hopefully I'll have some nice days the next couple days and be able to show you some of Geneva.